back, guys. So as you can see, we have got the bumper back now from the fiberglass place, and we have temporarily installed it onto the car just to see how it looks, and it looks absolutely insane. So comment your thoughts down below, guys. So yeah, I think this front bumper, it will need a splitter because we have got quite a bit of a gap down there, so I think a splitter will really set it off and give it a bit more of an aggressive look. But that's the job for later on. The main focus right now is going to be getting this bumper prepped and ready for paint. But before we do that, guys, we do need to drill out the holes for the parking sensors. So if you look down here, we have got the original bumper with all the cutouts for the parking sensors. I will be using the original brackets, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically take some measurements of this front bumper. I know the one we've got on our car is a bit wider, but I'm going to use the measurements as a rough guide as to where the holes need to be. So once I've taken the measurements, guys, I'll be masking off the front bumper, so I can basically write down where the holes need to be. And I can basically mark out the holes as well. Once I'm happy with the positioning of the holes, we'll drill them all out. We'll get the brackets of the original bumper installed onto this one. Once that's done, guys, we can actually get this all prepped and ready for paint. And hopefully once it's painted, we can get the mesh installed, we can get the grills installed, as well as that lower grill as well. So yeah, good amount of work to do, guys. So let's get straight into it. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, guys. If you are new, consider subscribing. So we just applied the filler work, and it's going to take a bit of time to dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to let that set overnight. We'll come back tomorrow and carry on work with that front bumper. As you guys saw, I didn't mark out the holes for the parking sensors. I pretty much used the original bumper to get an idea of where they need to go. So we've got all 4 holes drilled out, and they're perfectly spaced out as well. So we had to use a Dremel to kind of cut out this area just there, guys, where the grills actually sit. Because the way they were made, you can't just fit the grill straight on. You have to basically kind of customize it, kind of work out where you need to cut to actually get the grills to sit in properly. So that's all done out the way. So like I said before, we need to wait for the filler work to dry so we can carry on work with it, sand it down, and then the next step will be primer. We've got a few of the panels to primer as well, like the door handle, and what else we need to do, the fuel cap as well. So yeah, hopefully by the end of this video, guys, we will have all the panels, you know, in paint. The only thing that we haven't received just yet is that rear spoiler. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow or the day after, you know, we'll receive it so we can start cracking and work with that as well. But for now, guys, we're gonna call it a night. We'll be back tomorrow to carry on work. So it is the next day, and our filler's nice and dry. So Zeus started work on it, getting it sanded down, getting it nice and smooth so we can actually get it all in primer and give it a final sand down before we actually paint it. So I'm gonna leave Z to that. If you look down here, guys, we have got quite a few panels that need painting. So we've got the fuel flap. That needs to be all sprayed up as well, so I'm going to sand that down, wet flat it with a grit of 800, and also the driver's side door handle, we need to get that nice and flat as well. The mirror cups are going to go in a black colour, so I need to get it sanded down with the 800. We're just going to crack on with it now, guys. Z's sanding down that bumper, and while he's doing that, I'll start wet flattening all these panels. So just finish off sanding down all these panels, guys. So the plan is to basically primer up all these panels that you see here. So yeah, once we primer them, we'll sand them down once again and then spray them with the blue. These mirror caps will be going straight black, no primer. Coming along this way, that front bumper is ready now. Z's finished off the filler work. It's all sanded down, it's nice and smooth, so we can start applying the primer. The primer is all mixed up right now, so what we're going to do is take everything down to the spray booth. Right, so the primer's all dried up now, so we can start working on it. We are going to wet flat this down with a grit of, I think it's 1200, but I'm not too sure. Z's going to basically work on the front bumper. There's a few pinholes I need sorting out, so he's going to use stopper to basically fill them in. You know, once he's got it all prepped up, we can actually take it down to the spray booth again and get it all sprayed up. The plan is by the end of tonight, we'll have the front bumper all sprayed up. We'll have the door handle and that fuel flap sprayed up as well. So our bumper's nice and dry now, so we can start working on it. There's a good amount of work that needs to be done on this bumper. We need to glue the brackets for the parking sensors back onto this bumper. We need to put the mesh back into this slot here, guys. I bought a plastic grill just here for this lower part of the bumper. Again, another mesh sheet will be going back here as well. The two center grills need to go back in as well. Once that's done, we can fit this front bumper back onto the car. The mirror caps are nice and dry now, so we can get those mirror caps back onto the car. The fuel flap is ready to go on back on as well, and also the driver's side door handle along with the lock. So yeah, there's a good amount of panels that we can fit back up now, guys. Before I actually start working on the front bumper, I'll start off by fitting up the mirror covers, then the fuel flap, and then we'll do the door handle as well. Right, so I've applied the mesh on both sides. As you can see, I've used the hot glue gun to kind of hold that into place. So that's nice and secure. And I've also put 2 rivets on both sides. So I've got 1, 2, and on this side you got 1 and 2 as well. They're just there for show, guys, so they don't really serve a purpose. As you can see it from this side here. Yeah, they don't really do much, they're just there for show. Right now what I'm going to do is I've cut out the, not the mesh, but the grill for the lower part. And for this part, guys, it's really simple. All I'm going to do is I've got this little bracket here. I'm going to glue the back side of this bracket to the fiberglass. So this part here will be getting glued to fiberglass, and then once that's glued on, this plastic tab at the top, I'm going to basically weld that outwards. So that will basically hold that into place. I'm going to put another plastic tab up here. I'm going to put that through there like that, and then I'm going to glue that back side in there, just guys. See, just along there. I'm going to glue that in. Then my plastic weld this tab outwards, and I'm going to basically do 3 brackets, 1, 2 and 3, then another 3 at the bottom, 1, 2 and 3, so that's 6 brackets in total. So yeah, that should hold that into place nicely. We have got an issue right now with the parking sensor. You can see I applied a bit of fiberglass just along here. That's because these holes just here, guys, the fiberglass is quite thin and it's not as thick as this side. See this one here, guys, it's alright, it's quite thick, but this side is quite thin. So if I put the parking sensor through that hole, it actually sticks out quite a fair bit. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Right, so as you guys can see, the parking sensor does stick out quite a bit. So what we need to do is we need to fill out the back side of the hole that we drill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically put a bunch of fiberglass just around that hole, just to kind of thicken it up. Once we've got that to the desired amount, we can basically get a nice flush finish. So if you look at this side, guys, it's a lot thicker than the other side. So if I put my parking sensor through, as you can see, it's nice and flush and it's not sticking out like it does on the other side. So we do need to fill this area here with fiberglass. Once we laid it up nicely, we can sand it down to get it to the right amount that we need. Right, so I've pretty much done most of the work on the front bumper. All the brackets are in for the parking sensors. Then we've got the mesh on both sides as well as that lower grille. Now guys, with the lower grille, I've not finished work on it just yet. As you can see, I've installed 3 brackets at the lower part of the grille. Those are basically being glued into place. So the glue is going to take about a day to dry. So before I start working the top side, I want to make sure the bottom side is dry fully. Then hopefully I can come back tomorrow and finish off this lower grille by fitting in the top 3 brackets. And the kidney grills, I'll bring them tomorrow and I'll install those. It should be quite a straightforward install those, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully sometime tomorrow this front bumper will be completely done and ready to fit on. But for now, guys, if you remember on the last video, we were going to fit the spark plugs in and change the coils as well, but we didn't have the right tool to remove the spark plugs. Well, we have the tool now, so we might as well start working on the engine bay, start thing up with the spark plugs, the air filter and also the coils as well. We've got all the panels back there as well, guys, engine cover and all sorts to fit back up as well. So yeah, right now our main focus is going to be the engine bay, getting everything fitted back up, and yeah, just tidying up this engine bay once we're done. So it is the next day, and last night we did install the spark plugs and the coilovers as well, but the first time around that we did it, guys, we did make a mistake. We forgot to put the heat shields around the coilovers before we put them in. So what we had to do is literally take everything apart and redo it and install the heat shields as well. But anyways, that's all done and out the way now. So I'll show you guys the bumper. So the glue around the parking sensors, that's all dried up. The brackets are all dry as well. So today I'm going to work on this side of the grill. I'm going to get these brackets all installed. The same as what we've done to that side. I'm going to basically plastic weld the top tab backwards like that. Once that's done, we're going to basically apply some glue to the back, just there, there and there. I'm going to basically glue the tab into place, and I'm going to apply a bit of tape just along here, guys, just so there's a bit of pressure on the grill. So when the glue does settle, it's nice and dry and it won't be moving around. That front bumper is fully back together now, so it is ready to fit on. We have got a couple of issues, so if you come down here, you'll see that we have got a washer jet just along here, and on the bumper that we've just built back up, we don't have the washer jet cutout. So what's going to happen is, if you do use the washer jet function, it's going to basically hit against the bumper, so we do need to decode the washer jet. As well as that, guys, the original bumper does have a fog light just along there, and on the bumper that we're going to use, it does not have that, so we do need to deactivate both the fog light and the washer jet as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to fit the bumper on for now, and then maybe sometime tomorrow or the day after we'll get someone to come down and code out those functions so we don't have any issues later on. So yeah, I guess myself and Steve will just get on with it. We'll fit the bumper onto the car. Once the bumper's on, we'll get it nice and secure, and then the panel beat will come down and get it all lined up for us. So I just got done fitting up that front bumper, and this car looks absolutely insane right now. I do think we need a lower splitter to kind of set it up from the front, but for now, guys, this car is almost back together. There's only one panel missing, and that is that rear spoiler. But if you come along this way, you'll see that while I was working on that front bumper, he's basically sprayed up that rear spoiler, and it's all cut and polished and it's ready to go on. So I've got all my rivets on the car ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to secure that spoiler onto the back of the car. Once it's nice and secure, we'll take the car outside, we'll give it a proper wash, because the car is absolutely covered in dust yet again. So yeah, we'll give it a proper wash, and yeah, I guess we'll do the outro outside and we can see how the car looks out in the sun as well.
I mean, I can't wait to get it out. I mean, we are the bumper fitted, the kit fitted. Now we ain't really taken it out, have we?
We haven't really taken it out much, to be honest, and every time it's gone out, it's just had a wash, it's come straight back in. But I'll tell you, we'll take it outside, we'll wash it, and we'll just kind of take some pictures of it out there. And on Instagram, we'll upload some pictures as well. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram as well. Anyways, I think for the front of the car, we do need to do something about a front lower lip. It'll definitely make it look a bit more aggressive. It does look like it's missing something, you know, below that bumper. So I think later on down the line, we'll do that. There's still a few more mods that I want to do, guys. Like I want to tint the windows. You know, I want to put the carbon fiber cover on that shark fin aerial thing. What else do we want to do? The steering wheel as well. I want to get a steering wheel cover, guys, Alcantara or suede. You know, get that all stitched up as well. Now, those are the kind of changes that I want to do, but that won't be done this video, maybe the next video. And also, guys, we have got a new car coming to the channel. I was supposed to do a video on it, but we got busy with this car. So yeah, hopefully next week or the week after we will do a video on our brand new project car. But for now, guys, our main focus is actually getting that rear spoiler on and taking this car outside. rear spoiler on, and it really does set the car off from the back. It makes it look a lot more aggressive, and it just makes the car look even more insane than it already is. And you know, we took the car out when the sun was out as well, and the color of the car, guys, it does change. When the sun hits it, it goes to like a lighter shade of blue, and in the shade it looks a lot darker. So we have got a few more mods planned for this car, like a giant carbon fiber wing. We're going to wrap that steering wheel with Alcantara, and we're going to be also tinting the windows in a darker shade as well to really set this car off. And then once those mods are done, this car is pretty much complete in terms of mods, and then it's just a matter of test driving the car. But like I mentioned before, we have to tax insure the car, but we can't do that yet because we haven't received the logbook back yet for DVLA. If you want to stay up to date with what we're doing to this car, just follow us on Instagram at Performance Rebuilds. But for now, guys, we are going to end the video there. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next one.